Welcome back to A Real Pain Podcast, a podcast where two generations clash over which one had the better movies. I'm John, a millennial who thinks he had the better movies. And this is Matthew, a Gen Zer who thinks he had the better movies growing up. And today we're going to discuss Matthew's pick, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Dang, John coming in with the amazing intro. That was awesome.
Okay, so part of the reason I wanted to do that, it only took me like 2 hours, and maybe people can tell. Also, if you watch it in slow motion, I spelled millennial wrong because I didn't have a great education.
Yeah, what was it again? What's the school? Mid-Prairie?
No, don't say
sorry,
it.
Sorry,
it's okay. It's okay. You said it, not me. So yeah. Well, and here's the thing. This is one of the first things that I wrote down was, I don't know if it's all movies or just movies that we've picked for the podcast, but there are banger intros.
I completely agree. We just came off of School of Rock. Amazing intro as well. And I love that this was my movie pick, but you're like, I want to do a fun little intro for this episode. Yeah. So I think that's a good sign, hopefully. Yeah.
And like for people who maybe this is your first time tuning in, we work at Storyline Multimedia. We work on videos for small businesses, I would say, and we have a studio space. The green screen is right in this back room, and it's like you just turn it on.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
the fact that we haven't utilized it up until this point, kind of crazy.
Yeah. And maybe it's just because I had like a 2-hour window today where I'm making this.
I'm making this awesome intro. Yeah, that was so fun. That was very well done.
Yeah. Make a little movie magic
Hand
ourselves.
drawn, by the way, by this guy and animated.
I traced your face.
You're giving away our industry secrets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could nerd out about that, but that's not why people tuned in. They tuned in to talk about Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
You wanted to hear about Gregory Heffley. That's what we're here to talk about.
I can't wait to jump to the end. I really need to know what you think of this. I need to know what your new rating is.
My new rating. Okay.
Yeah. So why don't you hit us with a quick synopsis?
Yes. So Diary of a Wimpy Kid is based off of a book series by Jeff Kinney. And so they were written like actual diaries. This movie is kind of plays into that a little bit with the intro. Occasionally he'll be drawing his family members and be like writing in his diary throughout the movie. But a lot of
it's a journal, buddy.
Yeah. It's a journal, not a diary.
No, you almost went full.
I know. I gotta stop.
Donald Trump.
I gotta stop. Yeah. Anyway, so it's about this.
It's a journal. It's very manly.
It's actually a journal, not a diary.
Greg turned out to be the president of the United States.
Anyway, so it's about Greg Heffley, a kid who's just going into middle school for the first time. He's super worried about it, but he's also very confident in himself and thinks that he can climb the ranks of popularity in middle school. He gets into some shenanigans with his best friend, Rowley Jefferson. And every single time he tries a different tactic to get more popular, kind of gets thrown back in his face because he is very full of himself. But Rowley is always himself till the very end of the movie. He learns a couple lessons along the way. I feel like their family dynamic is also really hilarious. And yeah, that's kind of the main gist of it. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I think that kind of summarizes the plot.
So this is a 2010 movie.
Yes.
So where was a young Matthew?
So this was really fun watching again because in 2010, this movie came out right before I was going into middle school. And so I remember watching this movie as a kid and being like, oh no, this is what middle school is going to be like. And it's so fun watching it now because, you know, obviously some bits are exaggerated to, you know, be more funny in a movie. But as a kid my age back then, I thought it was all real. I thought this is exactly how middle school was going to go. And it had me scared. Not going to lie.
That checks out. I mean, they do a good job of like bracing you for the absolute worst.
Yeah, like that first intro scene when he first walks into the middle school, it is absolute chaos in there.
Yeah. And I always love in movies that a sign of a high school or middle school or just school in general the universal movie language for absolute chaos in a school is a roll of toilet paper just being flung down the hallway.
100%. Yeah. And I remember when this movie came out, I think there's 4 books already out in the series, and they were a big deal. Like anytime we had the Scholastic Book Fair come around, you knew Diver Wimpy Kid was running out because every dude was grabbing that book.
Every dude, huh?
Every dude. Yep.
Okay.
And dudette.
So
possibly.
was it primarily aimed at boys then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then I remember this is how big of a deal that movie was when it came out. So with the release of the movie, they also did a behind the scenes Diver Wimpy Kid movie book that kind of had like pictures and like the process of making the movie and all that. It was so popular in our library that towards the end of the year, you could only rent it out for 2 days because the wait list was that long.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Just all these middle schoolers need their book.
They need their Greg.
So, quick question. Is Greg a butthole in the books?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. He's very narcissistic for sure.
Okay. Well, we should probably get into our initial ratings before we jump into too many details.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
All right. While we're writing down our reviews of this movie, why don't you take a moment and just hit us in the comments with a movie that you think either is a millennial classic or a classic to the Generation Z. Oh, I said the full generation.
That was crazy.
It's like you're
Very
in trouble.
professional.
Generational. Yeah. So here we go. My initial rating.
John has a 7.5.
All right, Matthew.
Okay. Going in.
Matthew rated it a 7.5.
And for those of you listening, just we don't show each other our initial ratings. We try to convince the other person to go higher or
Yes.
lower. I'm going to try to convince you this was a terrible movie.
What?
No, I'm kidding. Nah.
All right. Well, since this was your first watch, I'm going to try and guess your favorite scene in the movie. And I'm not going to lie, I had a hard time picking because I think there's quite a few good bits in this movie.
Yep.
But based off of other episodes we've done and stuff you told me, you really enjoy fake commercials in movies that are really goofy.
Mm-hmm.
And this was in a similar vein, but at one point during the movie, they're watching a like motivational self-worth educational video with what's the guy's name? His name is
Were we supposed to know who that was?
No, and I think it's a Magnum PI like
Okay, so like your parents would know who it was. Okay.
Yep. Featuring Brock Brannigan PI. And that video like also very realistic because when I was in school, like they showed us old 80s motivational videos all the time, especially in middle school. And I just thought it was so goofy. And I think you really appreciated that.
I did like it. It wasn't my favorite scene only because I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, it's just a little bit.
I know, but I think it was maybe lost on maybe they were thinking that the people that were watching that movie would get like older references is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So like if that guy was from Magnum PI, that would have been like my dad's show.
Sure.
So I liked it and I thought it was good. But it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was in the top 5 favorite scenes.
Oh, really? Even when the guy
Yeah.
starts breakdancing and it's clearly a completely different guy breakdancing.
I did think that was hilarious. I did think that was hilarious.
Dang, I thought that one would get to you.
Yeah, I laughed and
Okay.
I enjoyed it, but it was not my favorite scene. My favorite scene was towards the end of the movie. So just to paint a little picture, Greg is the main character. He's the narcissist character, and he's really good friends with Rowley. And as they're entering middle school, Greg is starting to think that he might need to ditch Greg, and
Mhm.
he's just kind of terrible. Or sorry, Greg needs to ditch Rowley, and he's kind of just terrible to Rowley. And so
Yeah.
they are not friends. So fast forward, there's a
It's like mother son dance. Something
Yeah,
like
mother
that.
son
Sweetheart
dance.
dance.
Yes,
Sweetheart dance.
sweetheart
yes.
dance. So when Rowley dances with his mom, not only is that my favorite scene,
Wow. Okay.
but here's why. Intergalactic, Beastie Boys, late 90s. That song was on repeat
Really?
all through high school.
John, can I tell you a little embarrassing fact?
Yeah, you didn't know that was Beastie
I didn't
Boys.
know that was the Beastie Boys. Nope. That was
Yeah.
lost on me.
That actually does hurt a little
I'm
bit.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I remember listening to this. So this would have been like late 90s, listening to these albums from the 80s. And I remember my dad being like, why don't you listen to real music? Like rock music, or like, I'm like, this is kind of rock music. And he's
In
like,
a
no,
way, yeah.
no, the older stuff is better. And I'm like, from like the 80s? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, this is from the 80s. And I just went to war with him for some reason.
Over the Beastie Boys.
Over the Beastie Boys.
Hey, in case you hear that, he went to war for you.
Yeah.
In case the boys are watching.
Yeah. You got to fight for your right to party, which is not a reference that you'll get. That's one of their most popular songs.
Yeah, you gotta fight.
Okay, so
for
you
your
know.
right.
Okay, so
yeah,
you
I
do
know some of their stuff.
Okay, so you didn't know this song.
No,
from the movie. Okay.
Is it different than most of their stuff? Because I don't think I ever would have guessed that was a Beastie Boys song.
Yeah, a lot of their early stuff was. Everybody's like, talk about the movie. But a lot of their early stuff was like rock, like 2 rock band style music, and then there was a transition mid to late 90s into more like electronic DJ.
Interesting. Yeah, I
type
did not know
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not expecting that to be your favorite scene out of all of them. That's
Well,
crazy.
it was just a sweet moment. And then I also like, having a son, like thinking about him possibly doing that with Emily at some point would be, I don't know.
So
It's just,
cute.
it's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it got me.
It got me. Well, can I just say, starting out in the beginning of the movie, after Greg kind of does his little introduction saying how this isn't a diary, this is a journal, I feel like this was such a great introduction to the characters, specifically of the family. You're in Greg's POV and you hear Rodrick go, Greg, wake up. And he's pulling a prank on Greg where he's, it's like a week before school actually starts. And it's 4 o'clock in the morning, but he changed all the clocks. So it looks like it's 8. He's like, you're going to be late for school. So you see Greg kind of scrambling, trying to get ready for like school. And then you meet the dad. He's like, also, by the way, school doesn't start at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then his mom walks in with Manny and you learn about those 2 characters. I just thought that was such a great introduction scene to all those characters.
Absolutely. And it was such like, it's fun seeing Steve Zahn in something. I've seen him in a ton of movies and like shows, and I didn't know that he was going to be in this movie. I don't watch, like, if you suggest something, I don't like go and watch a trailer. I just go straight into the movie.
Yeah.
But it was fun. He did a great job. And then obviously like Rachel Harris, who plays the mom, was really fun as well.
Yeah,
So-
she has a couple really sweet moments in the movie too, which I'll touch on later.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. So when the first book came out, the popularity ranking that Greg is so worried about, that was also in the book. And I'd be curious if you also had, if this was even like a concern when you're in elementary or middle school. But I remember being a 3rd grader, I was so worried about where I ranked in the popularity list in my school. I feel like a 3rd grader shouldn't really be worried about that, but I'm wondering if you also had that same experience.
Yeah, there wasn't a ranking system necessarily, but there were definitely groups and cliques. And I was in the middle, I feel like.
It's like the best place to be.
The middle. Well, yeah, because you occasionally get beat up.
Yeah, but then you are occasionally with the cool kids.
Right. And so, yeah, I just had I feel like I had a unique experience because like I tried to do stuff that like other people in their class just like weren't. For example, like I loved home ec.
Okay, interesting.
So like cooking and learning how to sew. So like,
They taught you how to sew?
yeah.
Wow, I'm jealous.
And so like now, like I don't like fix I fixed a couple pairs of pants and like, but now I'm like sewing like Mary's dolls when they like,
that's
or their
fun.
stuffed animals. And so like, there's a lot of, and like shop class was really fun. So I just I don't remember. I think less about the cliques of like the different groups. And I remember more of like really liking certain classes.
Sure.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
but I also didn't have a movie. I don't think I had any movies that like warned me about the dangers of middle school.
yeah, and I feel like the last two school movies that we watched, which was School of Rock and Kindergarten Cop, that was more from the main protagonist's point of view was an adult in the school.
Yeah.
Besides 10 Things I Hate About You, which that was like a high school, I feel like this is one of the rare movies where you're watching it from a true middle schooler's point of view, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also felt like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like in that opening scene that you were describing, and like he runs down in his underwear, I'm like, what is happening? Like, and maybe it's just because I don't think you see that ever.
Not recently, I would say, yeah.
So anyways,
Yeah.
not that it's good or bad. I just,
Yeah, I don't know. I thought about that too, but I was like, I don't know. It wasn't done in like a weird way, I would say.
yeah. But then when he actually does go to breakfast, he's sitting next to his little brother, who's on the potty,
He's
like taking a piss.
This is so degrading. That was such a fun bit.
Yeah. And when you just a fun little fact, I don't know if this was on Tabby's list or not. I'm stealing it if it was. When I was writing down Manny, who played Manny, I didn't know that it was two people.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I already knew that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I told Matthew before you walked.
Oh, I knew before.
Oh, you knew
told me
before.
too,
Okay.
yeah.
No, you knew, and then no, you
And then,
knew.
wait a second.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, great introductions to the characters. So I should probably guess your favorite
Yeah,
scene.
what do you think my favorite scene was?
I think if this isn't your favorite scene, this has to be top 10.
Okay.
I actually did guess the breakdancing PSA for you, but specifically that you're watching this ridiculous PSA. Like we said, there's like a stunt double.
Yeah, it's
and
super
like,
goofy.
It's really silly. And then it cuts over to Fregley and
He's
he's crying
yeah.
like it was the most
He's
moving
so
thing.
inspired, yeah.
So I thought that was your
No,
favorite.
it's top 5 for sure.
Okay.
I think my favorite scene in the movie, it's right before Greg and Rowley go out trick-or-treating, and they have their whole route planned out. Rodrick comes in and sees their plan, and he notices that it goes through these woods, and he's explaining to them that that's actually the devil worshiper woods, and all the lights start going dark around him, and then at the very end of his spiel, he's like, and then the house and everything with it burned down. And Rowley goes, where did the trees come from? And it cuts back to Rodrick and he goes, and then they planted trees. And they're still like cuts back to Greg and Rowley and they're both like, wow. That was probably one of my favorite bits in the movie. That made me, I had to like rewind it again to show Rachel. It was so funny to me.
Yes, that was a really great scene. And that totally makes sense that you liked it.
Yeah. Which, can I say, Rodrick, maybe besides Rowley, that's like gotta be my favorite character in the movie.
Okay.
He plays like the just like worst older brother character so well.
Yeah, and he plays for a band called Löded Diper.
There's this song that I really want to sing, but I can't because it doesn't come till the second movie. But Löded Diper plays more of a larger role in that movie.
Were there only 2 movies?
There's 3.
Oh, wow, a trilogy.
Yeah, it's a trilogy.
Wow.
And then they tried making a 4th one and they replaced all the actors and it's just not good.
Oh, so it's kind of like Home Alone 3, probably.
Yeah, it's
Or
the Home Alone 3 of the series for
Gotcha.
sure. We don't talk about that
We don't.
one.
Yeah. Okay, well, should I try and guess your least favorite scene?
Yeah, I mean, Was there anything else that you really enjoyed before we switch sides?
Yeah, I think I kind of have to the thing that I enjoyed the most. I also kind of ties into my like least favorite
Okay.
thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
so, but like, I think I just really liked Fregley. I thought Fregley was awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because like one of the introduction scenes of him is coming over to the boys and like lifting his shirt and saying like,
you want to see my secret freckle?
and then he talks about how there's a hair in it.
Yeah, and it actually shows.
And I am dying laughing because like kids are like that, especially now that like, and my son is only 2.5 and he's not talking like a ton, but I could easily see him just randomly doing that to somebody.
Okay, yeah, because at one point last night you texted in our group chat and just said, Fregley is my son. At what point were you like, yeah, that's my son?
So the moment I thought that was when Greg goes over to Fregley's house.
Is it about the candy?
And he eats the candy and he's like, I get super hyperactive. And then he's like then Greg locks himself in the bathroom and was like totally freaked out. You could just hear it like it's almost like a savage animal.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, that's like any kid.
Well, I remember you told us a story where he somehow got a hold of some scotcheroos that were on the counter and just went absolutely nuts after it.
And then he would not sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Fregley for sure.
Yeah. And then just like even like a quick story. And I know my mom's going to hear this because she's a fan of the pod.
Thanks. Shout out Mrs. Choate.
But one time, we were going to go on a road trip. I believe Mary was 3 or 4. And while Emily and I were packing, my daughter went over to my mom's house and they were going to build gingerbread houses because it was before the holidays. And my mom, we're like, hey, not too much sugar. And she's like, hey, just so you know, like you kind of want them because we did road trips all the time when we were kids. And she was like, if she has a little bit of sugar and she stays up late, then she'll sleep more in the car. And we're like, oh,
that's
interesting.
So smart.
So our plan was to leave at 3 a.m. and Mary comes home, doesn't fall asleep until about 1 a.m.
1 a.m?
She gets 2 hours of sleep.
Oh.
We transfer into the car. We go on a 12-hour drive. She doesn't fall asleep until the last hour. And she was menacing.
Oh, no.
So the sugar thing is so real.
So real. Dang.
So when Fregley, so there's just all these kinds of memories and like, oh yeah, I'm going to easily see my kids being like this.
Yeah. And in a couple months, you're going to have 3 kids. Was it interesting seeing a family dynamic on the big screen with 3 kids in the mix?
It was, especially because it kind of seemed like the age gaps were somewhat similar because the older brother was in high school and then obviously Greg had just started middle school. And then, I mean, our youngest who's due in November will be a little bit closer to Benji's age, but I think it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
We either will survive or we won't.
You guys are going to thrive.
Okay.
I love how many, and I kind of forgot about this, but there's so many memes that come from this movie. One, Zooey Mama. Like if you want to relate to Gen Z, you just say that and we'll get it
Mama
right away.
Okay.
I know that you knew about this meme, and that's why I've been waiting to show you this movie for so long.
Yeah.
But it's when Greg starts singing, and I need you now tonight.
Yep.
That meme, I knew you were going to. Did you have a little.
Yep. I'm like, yep. Yep.
That, and then when Rodrick says, I'm sorry, women, that is a big one as well. And the last one, so for a little context, they join the safety patrol, and earlier in the movie, they get chased by some teenagers and they accidentally scrape their truck with the like weed whacker.
Yep.
And so they're doing their safety patrol. They're walking little kids to their houses. And it's just Greg this time, but he's wearing Rowley's jacket. And he thinks he sees the teenagers coming by. So he puts all the kids in this little hole in a construction site. And the neighbor across the street notices and says, Rowley Jefferson, is that you? So he runs away. And later in the movie, the head of the safety patrol kicks Rowley out of the safety patrol. Then later on, Greg is like, oh yeah, super funny story. That was actually me that left all these kids in the hole. And the scene where Rowley goes, don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done. People use that as a reaction so much, and it's amazing.
I did laugh pretty hard. Pretty hard at that. So just to piggyback off of what you said in the beginning about them hitting the truck with the weed whacker, and then they're like hightailing it. They're running away from the bullies, if you want to call them the bullies. And I'm watching this with my daughter, and she yells out, run, run, run as fast as you can, boys.
Run, boys, run.
I just thought, and I'm like, so like, you know, we haven't obviously gotten to the final scores yet, but I just wanted you guys to know that whatever my score is, it's a full point higher because Mary did really like this movie.
Well, and that's the thing I was kind of going back to earlier is like, for a kid watching this movie, like the stakes are real. But watching it now, it's just like, it's funny. But when you're a kid watching this, it's like, it's high stakes stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You're feeling the heat.
Yep, for sure.
All right. So I'm going to guess your least favorite scene, which I'm really stretching. Because if you grew up on this movie, I think everything's like, it's just, there's nothing I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did have one bullet point down. So
Okay.
be interested to see if it's that.
Okay. I think it is just something aesthetically.
Okay.
The winter scene looks atrocious.
Really? Oh man, I thought it looked fun.
No.
Oh man, I thought it had some charm to it.
No.
Really?
I thought it had charm, to be fair.
No, I thought it had charm.
Yeah.
Like the scene itself, like what the characters were doing, I thought was
Are you
charming.
talking about when they're building the snowman? Or
Yes.
Are you talking? Okay. Really?
Well, and then in like the snowball, like when he throws it at him on the bike, like just everything in the winter outside just doesn't look good.
Oh yeah, I disagree. I thought it looked fun.
I don't know. I just looks like shit.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know how to argue with you about it, but I thought it looked fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's because you grew up on it. So you're not looking
No, I mean,
through
watching it now, like if it looked bad, I'd be like, oh, I mean, I have admitted that about older movies that I grew up with. Have I not?
That's true. You have.
All right. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just
It just
personal
looked. It
preference.
just looked out of place to me. I
interesting.
was a little exaggerated because I want those clicks.
Give us those clicks, baby.
Yeah. Okay. You want to guess my least favorite scene?
Yeah, I think your least favorite scene, because it's really the only one that I have written down, so I'm guessing it's the same for you.
Okay.
But it's when Rowley gets his safety patrol taken away from him.
Yeah.
Out of all the things that Greg does to Rowley, that was the worst. And that when you see Rowley start crying, too far. You've gone too far.
I'm gonna say yes-ish
Okay.
because Greg's not a good kid.
No, he's not. He's really not.
And so halfway through the movie, I'm like, I think I messaged the group like,
are you supposed to be rooting for Greg?
yeah, because like up until the very end, he kind of has like a change of heart because of all the stuff he goes through. But the entire movie, I'm like, because like at first when you're introduced to him, he's like, yeah, and at some point, like all these kids who are, I'm paraphrasing, but like all these kids that are gonna be like mean to me or whatever, they're gonna be working for me someday.
Yep.
And then it's like showing him on a magazine and like, the grown-up version of him, and like he's like a supermodel kind of thing. And
Which
like,
that scene was super funny because they used the younger kids' voices while the grown-ups.
which I love. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like that whole scene is super fun. And I'm like, oh, this is really fun. I'm going to be rooting for Greg. And then I'm not rooting for Greg.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was kind of my least favorite scene to a degree. And primarily because I thought all of the kids, not Greg, were awesome.
Yeah. I love Shirag Gupta when he's first explaining the cheese touch to them.
Yes.
And then at the very end, he just looks off into the distance and goes, "This is a terrible place."
Yes. Every kid is so fun. And so, but like the ranking system, and I totally get it. And I like understand that that's like part of the movie. But like, again, I'll just go back to like when when they do wrestling and Fregley just starts owning kids.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, Fregley's awesome.
And then Coach Mullen's like, "Yes, great speed takedown, Fregley. Good job."
Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Greg does have some moments where I think he's funny. Like when he's wrestling the girl and he's like,
"Where do I grab her?"
Yeah. So like, anyways, I just like all the kids are just awesome. And so, and maybe that like, and I feel like maybe just because we came off of School of Rock where all those kids are awesome.
Yeah.
And like they celebrate the quirks and I don't know, you just kind of like get frustrated with Greg because it's like, dude, everybody there is kind of awesome.
No, for sure. And I think that kind of, I can see why people wouldn't really like that, especially up until the very end of the movie. But I think it also allows for some decent character growth. And it also allows, I think his mom has some really cool moments kind of pushing Greg along to become a better person. There's one specific line when they're at is it the sweetheart dance?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, you should really talk to," because this is at the point in the movie where Greg and Rowley are no longer friends. And she goes, "He's your best friend. And sometimes when somebody's worth it, you have to put yourself out there." Because, I mean, every moment Greg is like, "Yeah, Rowley, like you should really try and be more like me." Like anytime Rowley's putting himself out there, it goes in his favor, but Greg is always super embarrassed. And then at the very end of the movie, he admits that because Rowley gets like forced to eat the cheese, but he like, "No, what? Actually, I ate the cheese." I just thought that buildup was pretty cool. And I feel like the payoff was worth it, seeing how annoying Greg was throughout the whole movie.
Totally agree. And I do like the character arc. It's just sometimes with movies like this, the character arc comes so much like so late in the movie.
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
you don't have a lot of time to see them as like this new person.
Sure.
And so, and it's not even like a deal breaker on liking the movie. It's just sometimes it just happens so late and the movie's over and you're like, God, Greg was kind of a butt like the entirety of that movie.
I will say, hopefully, I know we're judging this movie, but there's 2 other movies. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. So I do have a question. And if you don't want to talk about it until after the final review of our score, that's fine. But when you were watching it as a kid, was Greg a problem then?
A problem in what way?
Well, like we're talking about like, oh, he just has narcissistic tendencies and like you're kind of not like, you're just kind of think he's mean. Did you see it through that lens or no?
No, and a lot of the problems that he had in the movie, I was kind of like, oh yeah, that makes sense why he would do that. Like especially trying to do anything he could to like rise his rank in the popularity list. It all kind of made sense to me as a kid. I don't think until watching it now is like, oh yeah, those are not great character points.
Got it. The only reason I bring that up, and millennials will know what I'm talking about here. The original Karate Kid from the 80s, that movie is awesome.
Okay.
And the main character's name is Danielson. He watching it as an adult,
Mm-hmm.
you always, like, as a kid, I thought he was the good guy. And
Yeah.
it kind of seems like he's the bad guy.
He's a stinker.
He kind of is a stink butt.
Oh no, I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
Well, it's definitely on the list. It's not going to be our next movie, but it's definitely on the list. But
yeah.
it's just interesting because as a kid, you're like, oh, yeah, go. Yeah.
Yep.
And you watch it and you're like, I think,
Wait a
I
second.
think you're the problem, buddy.
Yeah, no, I think it came out in 2010. The one with the Jaden Smith, Will Smith. Yep, I've seen that one. We just lost 5 subscribers. Let's
Lord,
go.
take me now. Well, anything else worth mentioning before we get into our final review?
Yeah, I love Rowley. I think he should run for president. His facial expressions in this movie, so good.
Yeah.
So
No.
many memes out
Yeah.
of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I did ask Mary this morning before I left for work. I said, Mary, last night when we were watching the movie, did you like Greg or Rowley better? And she's like, I liked Rowley better. And I'm like, good.
Smart kid.
Good.
Yes.
But anyways,
So-
I think Fregley for president, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Speaking of Fregley, so Zachary Gordon, the guy that plays Greg, and the guy that plays Fregley, they're in a band now.
Really? What's the name
Mm-hmm.
of the band?
I'd have to look it up, but yeah, I get reels popping up all the time of them playing in their band together.
Nice.
So that's the good ending to the movies.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, final review.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Tabby, hit us with some fun facts.
Fun fact. So Rowley's mom is played by Robert Caprone's real life mom, Kay Caprone.
Okay.
So it was a real life mom son duo.
Oh,
Going
nepotism is what I heard you say.
Nepotism.
I'm just kidding.
Also, just like in School of Rock, all the kids were doing their own singing during the audition scene, which aside from Greg.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, so when the studio was deciding where to film the movie, they wanted the perfect American town. And the perfect American town was in Canada because they shot the movie in Canada.
We can't have anything nice here.
That makes sense.
So Angie, the character was not actually a character in the book. She was made only for the movie.
Yeah, and I'll be honest,
Uh-huh.
like reading the books, do you guys felt like she added a ton to the movie?
No.
I will say I thought she was like a figment of the imagination, like a Tyler Durden situation.
My gosh,
honestly,
that-
I kind of like that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New headcanon for sure.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also found this out. I think they shot this movie in 44 days, which was
Really?
at the time like an accomplishment. Like that was really fast, especially for a family movie like this. So
Mm.
thought that was cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
nice.
regarding the snow scene, that was artificial snow. I think that's yeah. That was
No, it
set
makes-
decorations and artificial snow.
See, it was set decorations, artificials. They had fun. They had fun, John.
They went the cheap route.
The cheap route. What are they supposed to do?
They're in Canada.
For
Film in the
real.
snow.
Well, they filmed in the fall. So
They did.
All right. Well, they should have done that last.
Should have waited.
They should have waited.
all right, you ready, John?
Final review.
Final review. Ooh.
7.75 is my final review.
We're pretty close. Yeah, my final review is 8.
Okay. Would it have been higher as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, this was a 10 out of 10 for sure.
Okay.
So I think this movie, John, is the equivalent of, because I hear everybody online saying how amazing Terminator 2 is compared to Terminator 1. I think you said that as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I think
I don't love where this
I think
comparison is going.
this first movie is the T1 to T2 that is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rodrick Rules. Because Rodrick Rules, here's why, John. Here's why. Just
This
listen
is breaking
first.
my brain.
Just listen first. Rodrick Rules, I think this movie is a good jumping off point, but Rodrick Rules blows this movie out of the water.
Okay.
And I think it's fair to say, from what I've heard online, T2 blows Terminator 1 out of the water.
Yeah. Easily. But I don't love this.
You don't love this? Can I read you my Letterboxd review from last night after watching this movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
I said,
oh my gosh.
like with the Terminator, to get to the masterpiece that is Terminator 2, you gotta watch this first to get to Rodrick Rules. And it's not a terrible place to start.
This is nails on a chalkboard. I don't know why, but I'd love some millennial backup on this one.
Facebook is gonna be going off with that.
I thought it was a fair comparison. I'm not saying they're similar movies. I'm saying it's similar in the way that the second movie is way better than the first one.
Yeah. I'm not going to clip it that way. And I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We're gotten
You're going to ruin my reputation
we've
online.
gotten a little bit more particular, I would say, on what stays in a clip.
Yeah, what we're clipping.
Because a lot of times we'll clip off like the explainer where it's, and then we just get ripped into
just roasted. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to give you a little taste of the next movie. We're going to take, this is like peak action.
Okay.
We're going to go with the movie Speed with Keanu Reeves. This is one of his first action movies. And can I tell you what the premise is, guys?
Well, when did this come out first and firm?
Early 90s. I don't know.
Early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s. I can't say for sure if this was Sandra Bullock's first movie.
Whoa, she's in it too.
But she's very young in this movie. And the premise of the movie is that Keanu Reeves is a cop.
Okay.
Sandra Bullock is riding on a bus.
Nice.
Okay.
As you do.
There's a domestic terrorist who put a bomb underneath the bus that Sandra Bullock is riding.
Okay.
They're not connected. She just happens to be an innocent bystander. What triggers the bomb is once the bus goes over 50 miles per hour, the second it goes under 50 miles per hour, it will blow up.
Whoa.
Was this before cruise control?
What is cruise control?
Like the thing on your car.
Oh, I thought you were referencing sorry. Okay.
No, we're keeping that in.
Hear me out, guys. This is why I thought that is they made a sequel to the movie Speed, and I'm pretty sure it's really bad. Keanu Reeves is not in this one.
Yeah, this sounds like the type of movie where you can only do it once.
Yeah. So it's called Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Are you
No
serious?
way.
That's wild.
I'm like, take it out if it's wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So yeah, that's the premise of the movie. And I actually saw a clip from another podcast that does movies, and they made this interesting point, and I want you to watch this movie this way, is this would be so expensive to make now.
Okay.
This movie. And so their argument was that movies like this just don't exist anymore because like they shut down like a ton of streets in LA.
Oh yeah, I bet you could.
Like it's, and then like all of the effects are practical. And anyways, it's a good time.
Okay, you got me hyped, John.
I already can tell you're going to pick some scenes apart, but I just think, you know what? Crack open a beverage of choice.
Got a gummy.
Lean back in the chair and just have a good time. Have
Fair
a good time.
enough.
All
Fair
right.
enough.
All right. Well, this has been a fun episode. Thank you so much, Matthew, for sharing Diary of a Wimpy Kid with this old millennial.
Yeah, I'm glad you mostly enjoyed it.
C+. It's almost a B-.
Almost a. Hey, you know what? I know what the next movie is. I just gotta wait.
Yeah, you'll tear into me then. All right. Well, until then, it's been a real pain. Bye.
This episode was brought to you by Storyline Multimedia, and special thanks to Matthew Purcell for making and producing our theme song.